No Marvel hero gets broken more than Daredevil, and that's exactly why his stories are so good. If you've never read his comics, you're missing some of the best storytelling Marvel's ever produced. Crime, corruption, and tragedy, and a hero who gets back up no matter how hard he's been hit. So if you're new to Daredevil, here are the top 3 comics you need to start with. Before we jump in, if you're into comic book deep dives like this, hit subscribe so we can keep building this community. Now let's get into it. First up, Daredevil, the man without fear. If you're starting Daredevil from scratch, this is the place to begin. This story, written by Frank Miller, completely redefines Matt Murdock's origin. You see the accident that blinds him, but it also enhances his other senses. But what makes this story hit hard is everything that comes after that. His brutal training with Stick, his complicated relationship with Elektra, and the early formation of the man who becomes Daredevil. This version of Daredevil's origin is what heavily influenced the Netflix show with Charlie Cox. It turns him into a fighter trying to survive Hell's Kitchen. It's grounded, it's gritty, and it turns Daredevil into something more than just a superhero. Next on the list is Daredevil, Born Again. Now this is where things get dark. Born Again is widely considered one of the greatest comic book stories ever written, and for good reason. The story kicks off when Karen Page sells Daredevil's secret identity for drugs, and that information eventually reaches Kingpin. And what happens next? Kingpin doesn't just fight Daredevil, he systematically destroys Matt Murdock's entire life. He freezes his bank accounts, gets him disbarred as a lawyer, destroys his home, and pushes him to absolute rock bottom. What makes this story so powerful is that it's not about Daredevil winning, it's about whether Matt Murdock can survive. Fun fact, this storyline directly inspired elements of Daredevil Season 3 and is often ranked alongside stories like The Dark Knight Returns in terms of influence. By the end of this story, Daredevil is not just a hero, he's someone who's been broken and rebuilt. Or should I say, born again. And last on the list is Daredevil, Underboss. If you want something more modern, this is where you go. Brian Michael Bendis takes Daredevil and turns it into a full-on crime drama. This story leans heavily into organized crime, power struggles in Hell's Kitchen, and investigative journalism through characters like Ben Urich. And the tone? It's slower, more grounded, and feels almost like a TV crime series. Bendis' run is what really cemented Daredevil as Marvel's most noir-style character, more crime thriller than superhero story. And the artwork by Alex Maleev, dark, shadowy, and cinematic, it perfectly matches the tone. So if you're just getting into Daredevil, here's your roadmap. Start with The Man Without Fear for the origin, move to Born Again for one of the greatest stories ever told, then jump into Underboss for a modern, grounded take. These 3 stories give you everything you need to understand why Daredevil is one of Marvel's most respected characters. If you haven't read Daredevil yet, start here, and let me know in the comments, which one are you picking up first? And if you like this breakdown, please consider hitting that subscribe button, it would really help me out. Timely Nerd out.